Promote and exploit divisiveness. Let's face it, when you get right down to it, all of liberalism is fueled by a singular strategy, which has been continually perfected and relentlessly executed over the past 40 years. That strategy is to promote and exploit divisiveness. Everything liberal politicians do is based on this simple principle. Tell the people that they are given to hating the most that they are the ones who are hated. Tell people who expect the most that they deserve more. Tell blacks to hate whites. Tell women to hate men. Tell the lazy to hate the motivated. Tell the poor that only conservatives are rich, and then be sure to tell them to hate them for it. Class warfare, race-baiting, name-calling, and man-hating, all with a singular goal, to get themselves in power by promoting and exploiting divisiveness. Of course, once this divisiveness turns into frenzy, these same people suddenly act as if they actually want to solve a problem that didn't even exist before they did everything they possibly could to create it. To liberals, every issue, every situation is an opportunity to divide. History, religion, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the death of a soldier, political debate, the hurricane which devastated New Orleans, every tragedy exploited to divide, every victory belittled to divide, every incident, every word, every distorted statistic, every holiday, you name it, they will find some way to divide it. Unfortunately, it's not just the politicians who promote and exploit divisiveness. It is the people as well. Malcontents, jealous of anyone with any sort of success, come up with any way they can to attack those who are more successful than they are. Someone is rich only because they stole something from them. Certain groups are more successful only because they took advantage of them. Work has nothing to do with it. Intelligence has nothing to do with it. Planning ahead has nothing to do with it. Even luck has nothing to do with it. And what do these kinds of people view as a solution to this imaginary injustice? Why, special rights, privileges, and opportunities for themselves, of course. Level the playing field. Get something for nothing. Take from the rich, the white, the male-dominated, homophobic society that has already given them everything. Take what they have, what they built, what they earned, whether it be money, property, liberty, or opportunity, and find some way, some justification, some cause, or some guise to redistribute it to the people who have done nothing to earn it, to people who refuse to compete on merit, to people who insist on taking more out of society than what they put into it, to people who don't give a damn what their inclusion comes only at the expense of someone else's exclusion. The strategy is simple, really. Promote divisiveness and then exploit it for your own benefit. Liberals should thank God every day for differences between people, because without them liberalism would be dead in the water. Without them the country might have some stability. Without them it might have a chance to survive. Without them the problems between those who want and those who have might actually be manageable in some meaningful or productive way. For differences have given liberals the perfect opportunity to stop any rational discussion dead in its tracks. Differences have led to polarization. Differences have led to countries within a country. Differences have led to the dreaded existism-mongerphobia. Existism-mongerphobia. Differences have allowed liberals to add any of these four sounds to the end of any word they choose, virtually guaranteeing that they can get away with anything they want. Exist, ism, monger, phobia. Worse yet, liberals actually have the nerve to turn around and endlessly accuse conservatives of divisiveness. To them, conservatives who believe everyone should be held to the same standards are somehow divisive. To them, conservatives who believe everyone should have the same rights regardless of their guise used to justify different ones for different people are somehow divisive. To them, conservatives who sacrifice their time, money, careers, and often their lives to defend the true meaning of freedom and liberty are somehow divisive. But the reality is that divisiveness does not come from those who are trying to make some contribution to our society. The reality is that divisiveness does not come from those who expect others to at least try to do the same. The reality is that divisiveness comes from those who are always trying to get something out of a society far beyond what they are willing to put back in. The reality is that divisiveness comes from those who are always trying to get something for nothing. Regardless what is ever said or whether it comes from, by now it should be clear that a key method for liberals to use in any situation is to promote and exploit divisiveness. But what is the point of all this divisiveness? In other words, why do they do it? Why do people who are supposed to be adults spend 24 hours a day calling people names, trying to turn everything into a racial issue, endlessly categorizing and demonizing people, and continuing to do everything they possibly can to breed the hatred they so vehemently claim to oppose? Why can't they just grow up and try to do something productive with their lives, something that does not involve attacking other people? Well, it turns out that there are quite a few reasons for them to focus on promoting divisiveness, not at least of which is that growing up and trying to do something productive is just too damn hard. Clearly life is so much easier when all you have to do is promote divisiveness and then exploit it for your own benefit. And just what are these benefits? How about special rights, privileges, opportunities and immunities endowed upon those doing the dividing? How about being allowed to take more from society than what you put in? How about diversity, i.e. divisiveness, programs at companies that require them to wine, dine, attract and employ people of color, i.e. anybody who isn't heterosexual white male, based on these divisions first and the abilities of the person second? How about government contracts that are required by law to be given to companies regardless of how inept they are? How about guaranteed business, guaranteed customers, guaranteed profits, guaranteed success? Something for nothing, in fact everything for nothing. What about the benefits to the liberal politicians who are the ones ultimately keeping this divisiveness alive? What about Dean, Hillary, Pelosi, Gore, Schumer, Boxer, Kerry, Kennedy, and just about everyone else with a D next to their name? What do they get by promoting divisiveness? The answer is that they get themselves elected. The answer is they get to live high on the hog. The answer is they get to run your life. The answer is they offer absolutely nothing of substance to anyone. The only thing they can offer is hatred of those who do. Make no mistake about it, each and every day there are thousands of special interest groups, whether it be some breed of anti-male feminists, some sort of anti-business union, some sort of anti-anything not of my kind league, or some group of XYZ American, continually feeding the frenzy of their members in order to keep the liberal war machine in motion. They harp on every issue, they spin every situation, they twist every word, they put every barrier they can between people as they distort reality in every way possible in order to continually promote and exploit divisiveness. The bottom line is that these groups will do and say whatever it takes to keep the people they cater to as angry as possible. These groups will do and say whatever it takes to keep resentment and hostility alive. These groups will do and say whatever it takes to ensure that any time someone has the courage to step up and actually try to get people to think for themselves, that their members are ready, willing, and more than able to do everything they possibly can to attack, undermine, sabotage, and destroy that person. By simply looking at the facts, the behaviors, the statements, and other endless contradictions, there is no question that liberals are constantly at work to make sure that the people they cater to are united together against a common enemy. An enemy is trying to maintain some sort of order in our society. An enemy is trying to keep the country from collapsing into a third world nation. An enemy is trying to tell people that hard work and education is the only real equalizer. An enemy known as conservatives.